Morning. Please stand for the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning, students. My name is Siobhan George, Guidance Officer 2 of St. Patrick Education District. Welcome to our first virtual district career fair. Thank you for participating in this event. Today, you will be exposed to many careers and tertiary institutions. Career exploration and planning is very important because at this stage in your development, it gives you a chance to investigate the skills needed, the qualifications required, as well as whether the career aligns with your personality as you move towards achieving your goals. We thank your schools, parents, the St. Patrick Education District, the presenters, and RSC International in making this day a success. Do enjoy this day's events and have fun in finding out the best careers to suit your goals. God bless.
Good morning, everyone. Miss George here again with you all. This is our third day, and I'm so glad that you have joined us this morning. I hope you have been having fun. Yesterday, we were both in the air and in the ocean, in that we were treated to Pro ATS, the flying school, and we had an encounter with the Institute of Marine Affairs. So we are continuing with the ocean this morning, because first up, we have Caribbean Fisheries to interact with us as they enlighten us on their organization and the careers that you can be interested in based on their organization. Apart from that, today we would be interacting with the Coast Guard as well as the police service. So let's have some fun today as we introduce Mr. Slinger from Caribbean Fisheries. Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good
My name
morning.
is Gabriel Wheels. I will be representing for Mr. Keegan Slinger today, who is my manager. So we are here from the Caribbean Fisheries Training and Development Institute. We would like, first and foremost, to say thanks for having us here today to share a bit of perspective on who we are and what we do here at CFTDI. So the institute is located in Chaguaramas, that's on the western peninsula of Trinidad and Tobago, and we engage in maritime training, marine training, anything to do with the fish, anything to do with the sea. So we're talking about careers along the lines of marine engineering, fisher folk. I'm sure a lot of you may have family who are active fishers, and we would like to share some perspective on the various career opportunities that are in the maritime and marine industry. So I'd like to introduce my co-worker, Ms. Maureen James. She is also a member of the Community and Outreach Department, and she also has a vast experience in the line of fishing, fish processing especially. So if you have any questions, we would like to hear what you all think. Don't be afraid, so you can think about them. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna get straight into it and we're gonna run a video. So short promotional video that we put together that pretty much tells you the bulk of what you need to know about CFTDI. So we'll just run that video now and we'll take your comments and questions after. Just 1 second while we load the video. All right, so while we're waiting on the technician to load the video, we just like to encourage all these students to check us out on social media at CFTDI. You could just Google our acronym CFTDI and like all our platforms. You can like us on Facebook, we have an Instagram page, stuff like that. So I think we're ready with the video now.
The Caribbean Fisheries Training and Development Institute provides training for personnel involved in the fishing
Just
and maritime sector.
people are seeing the video or
The
hearing the video.
CFTDI, we recognize that skills development brings empowerment. So we have invested considerable resources in providing quality training for fishers at every level of the industry. Interested persons can explore courses in seafood processing technology, basic navigation and sea survival techniques, marine engineering, and fishing gear technology. Within each of these major categories lies a range of career opportunities that are often overlooked. Let's deal first with fish processing, building entrepreneurs in coastal communities. Fish processing is the set of methods and techniques used to transform fish that have been harvested from the sea into food. Fish processing consists of fish handling and preparation. Fish handling involves acts such as butchering, washing, and icing of the catch. Preparation is the act of preparing attractive, marketable, and often long shelf life fishery products. This involves the preparation of products into various market forms, heating, and various other processes. At the CFTDI, we have an on-site fish processing unit that is designed according to HACCP specifications and comprises a receiving area, processing hall, test kitchen, product development room, packaging room, smoking area, sensory evaluation room, equipment storage, and fish shop. Fish product cycle. The cycle begins when fish is landed aboard the vessel and continues through to receiving, primary processing, further processing, packaging and storage, and sales. Fish processing as a career can be quite lucrative. The career pathway in this sector leads to many professional and occupational possibilities. Here now is a quick look at some of the opportunities within the fish processing sector.
Ladies and gentlemen, good day. My name is Captain Ronald Wild, and I'm one of the instructors here at Caribbean Fisheries Training and Development Institute. I spent 30 years working at sea in many beautiful places around this world. At this facility, we provide people with an opportunity to enter the maritime industry. It can be an excellent way to make a living and is both financially and fundamentally rewarding.
In order to be employable for any job at sea, an individual must first undergo basic safety training. This is the most popular course that we present at the CFTDI, and it is recognized internationally because it conforms to the requirements of the STCW 95 Convention. People who are already employed in the maritime sector return to the Institute to further their education in order to move up the ladder.
The offshore industry in this country provides employment aboard ferries, fishing vessels, tugs, supply vessels, yachts, cruise ships, and more. As the seafarer develops their skills and gains knowledge, their responsibilities and their paychecks grow. The captain of an LNG tanker, for example, earns $250,000 US for just 4 months of work per year.
Basic safety training will soon be mandatory for fishers and fishing vessel personnel in TNT. Therefore, you should come on down to the training center now so that we can steer you towards a safe and productive future in the fishing sector. Marine engineering. Marine engineering is a discipline concerned with the machinery and systems of ships, other maritime craft, and structure. Marine engineers make sure all systems work properly, such as propulsion, auxiliary machinery, and electrical systems. Engineer career paths: oiler, motorman, third engineer, second engineer, chief engineer. Here now is a list of requirements for different positions in the marine engineering sector. Further career paths include welders, fitters, plumbers, refrigeration technicians, and marine electricians. Fishing gear technology. Fishing gear technology involves the design, construction, and operation of fishing gear, and it includes the tools with which aquatic resources are captured, as well as fishing methods that show how the gear is to be used. If you desire to pursue a career as a gear technologist, you will need to fulfill the following requirements. Some of the areas covered in the fishing gear course include basic rope work, pelagic longline, demersal longline, drop line, and fish pots. Devices. Fish are fascinated with floating objects. They aggregate in considerable numbers around objects such as drifting logs, rafts, jellyfish, and floating seaweed. The objects appear to provide a visual stimulus and an optical void, and offer some protection for juvenile fish from predators. The gathering of juvenile fish attracts larger predator fish. If you love the sea and would love to learn more about it, the CFTDI can definitely steer you in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm Nathan Charles here at the CFTDI, doing a course in marine engineering. I must say that the experience I have here is a very pleasant one. The institute actually has a large number of courses in which to choose from, most being short courses. The course that I am doing presently is an 8-week course in marine engineering. I must say that hats off to the tutors. The tutor has a large reservoir of information. I plan to take the experience from this back to my field of work, into the marine field, and advance myself to a higher level.
The correct aptitude and attitude towards disciplines involved in the sector leads to upward mobility.
Hi, my name is Natasha Baru. I'm presently doing a fish processing course. Currently, I'm employed with the Seafood Industry Development Company. I'm in the Quality Control Department. And I must say the past 4 days with the program has been quite interesting. The course was quite informative. I've learned a lot of new stuff. Also, I've gained a lot of hands-on experience, which will be useful later on in life when I want to open my own business.
Historically, fishing has been considered a low-class occupation, but that is far from the truth, for it enhances socio-economic development and provides attractive remuneration. Fishing is an important profession which assists in ensuring food security for the nation, and it is time that it is recognized as a noble profession in TNT.
Okay, so there you go. I hope everyone had a chance to view, see, and hear the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. So, as importantly pointed out in the video, traditionally, fishing was considered as a low-class profession. But as the video just showed, there are a wide range of careers available in the marine industry. Apart from that, as the national anthem pointed out earlier, we are islands standing side by side in the deep blue Caribbean Sea, which means Trinidad and Tobago are islands surrounded by water, so there will always be opportunities within the maritime. So when it's of the industry and they say, you know, it's low class, fisher folk, Trinidad and Tobago is also primarily an oil and based gas industry, and to work offshore, you would need to do the basic training as pointed out in the video, which is ISO certified, IMO certified, sorry, as the International Maritime Organization. So we at CFTDI also provide that basic training. So at this time, what you just saw,
If you have no questions at this time, I'd just like to bring your attention to the slides that you see in there. Those are some of the activities that take place at the Seafood Technology Fisheries Training Department. At this department, what we do is try to help fisher folk and industry, those in the industry to do their part in ensuring food sustainability by ensuring that if the product from the moment fishes they don't to the point of sale, right? So we have courses geared towards handling and processing of fish and fishery products. We teach you hygiene and sanitation from on board through our handling of fish on board course, and we take it further. We show you marketing to handle how to store the fish, curing, storing or smoke curing, as you would have seen in some of these slides there. And you will even have the opportunity to make sausages at our department. What we do, we train vendors and retailers in how to properly store their fish to ensure a healthy product. Right, so if you all know anybody who in the industry, or if you are interested, you could contact us.
All right, so you can send us an email at cftdi.edu.tt, and the request will be forwarded accordingly. Also behind us, we have our telephone contact. And as mentioned before, you could message us on Facebook, by our Facebook page or Instagram, anything of this nature. We would like once again to ask any questions.
Yes, there are a few questions. Okay. So let me shoot right away. At what age does one become a fisherman? That is one of the questions the students are asking. At what age does one become a fisherman? Or a fisherwoman?
Okay, so yeah. So fisherfolk will be the correct term. That's all.
Thank you very much. Fisherfolk, thank you so much.
So to become eligible to do courses at CFTDI, you will just need to be at the age of 16 years old. So there are no serious requirements. You just have to have basic literacy and a medical certificate of good health. You can get this medical certificate at Tragate Road. That's if you're coming to register for the courses here at CFTDI. But in terms of the question, 16 years old, basic requirements. So you don't have to have a degree and you don't have to have, let's say, 10 passes. Not to neglect the importance of the academics. I don't want to sideline that. Let me make that clear. But it's just to say that there's always a place for individuals in the marine and fishing industry, should the need be.
Okay, thank you for that. Another question, and I think it is as a result of showing the persons on the boat. A student is asking, how many days do you work? And is it a profession that takes you away from your family?
Okay, that's a very good question. So how many days you will work will depend specifically on the career that you venture into. So as you may be familiar with, let's say in the line of offshore work, you may be away from your family for a couple months, probably 1 month on, 1 month off, give or take. So it depends on the company and the job that you're going into. Sometimes it might just be a day. Sometimes it's on land and you go, let's say you are captain and you come into park ships and stuff. And as Captain Wild pointed out in the video, these jobs can be very lucrative. So you could probably work for a month and receive, as he said, up to 200,000 US dollars. So I just stick that in there for some incentive. So yeah, it all depends on the career that you choose.
Okay, I'm seeing the questions coming in. Do you need a license to be a fisher folk? And I hope I'm saying it correctly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you do need a license to do it officially, which is what we promote. So the Fisheries Division is who they administer these licenses. So the registration process is pretty straightforward, and anyone can attain this license once they approach the Fisheries Division.
All right. A student is also asking, Tobago is more the place known for fishing, I guess, in their perspective. And they are trying to find out if there is a particular reputation that Trinidad has, because you would find that people like Tobago fish. So I don't know if you can give your perspective on that.
You want to take that one?
In terms of the comparison, I cannot say. I know Tobago is known for their flying fish in particular. But I think we have a good industry here in Trinidad. So it's kind of even, depending on the amount of fishers in the districts.
All right. Thank you. Another question. Is it very dangerous being on the sea?
Right? So it is very dangerous being on the sea. And one of the courses we offer here at CFTDI is safety at sea. So there are rules to the sea. They call it rules of the road. We have all these useful information to fisher folk. So we invite fisher folk. We go out into the communities and have these reports with the fishers in terms of ensuring their safety. We also have a lot of technology involved. So we have the use of radios, GPS systems. All these are things you can learn if you come here to CFTDI and engage in our courses or just engage our staff in general. And we could facilitate any further information requests
All
where those
right.
are concerned.
Another question coming in. What are the advantages and disadvantages in, as you see all the careers that pertain to the fishing industry? What would you highlight some of the advantages and disadvantages?
Well, I would answer from a personal perspective. I would
Sure,
say
that is no problem.
some of the, okay, so just like any other business field, right? There would be risks that you would have to assume, right? So there's a danger involved with going out at sea. There's a risk and danger being around, let's say, oil platforms and such. There's a risk and danger associated with all these things. You have to invest heavily in your engines. So we live in Trinidad and Tobago. There's a prevalence of crime, stuff like that. But what is important, I would say, in terms of the advantages, you would be able to reap all the advantages once you have the right tools and the right information. So people may go about it willy-nilly sometimes and think that there's nothing more to learn. So we want to encourage persons to continue learning. So no matter what level you may be at or you plan to be at, there's always another step to take it to the next level to ensure that these risks that you're assuming would be rewarding at the end of the day. So that's as best you wanna.
Even on the fish processing side, you will have a lot of opportunities for entrepreneurship because you have a lot of products that are not on the market. You have alternatives for some products, like the fish sausage is a viable alternative. You have smoke products. Some people may not like smoke herring, but we could introduce a number of similar products which will be acceptable, and you could start off with a little cottage industry and build your clientele and really.
So we just put some product to give you a brief what is possible and less opportunities.
All right. So we just have a few more questions. In terms of the training institute, which area do people usually gravitate the most to?
So as the video pointed out, our most popular course here at CFTDI is the basic training course. or more commonly known as the pre-C. So this in high demand by the marine industry as a basic requirement to be able to work at sea in general. So that will have to be our most popular course here at CFTDI.
Okay, another question coming in here. In terms of salary, which profession would be, as from your perspective, which one of the careers would be the one with the highest paid salary? Or is it according to the field?
I would say, well, as I pointed out earlier, a vessel captain is played pretty well from my understanding of it. I mean, if you are intelligent enough, even as an entrepreneur, so we want to encourage the entrepreneurs as well. If you do well and you establish your enterprise well enough and you have several vessels running, you could probably be just as lucrative as a vessel captain, according to how you organize your business. So, but the vessel captain, I would say, would be my response.
All right. Okay. And one student, I guess, again, coming out from the video, what are some of the equipments used in terms of the professions on the sea?
Yeah, that's a great question. So in terms of equipment, we could come from basic in terms of the engine to the boat. We also have a class for that called outboard engine maintenance and repair. There is also the nets used in catching the fish. So we have a course for that as well, which is like technology. But the equipment is very broad. So we have first aid, we have firefighting, we have loads of equipment that we have the information on and we teach people to use, and people can become familiar after completing our various courses.
Okay, one more question. And I know you may have answered this, but this is just the nature of children. Do persons stay for more than one day on the very large boats?
Yep.
What is the longest? What is the longest I should have asked? What is the longest? Sorry?
Yeah, I'm here, you know.
Yes, what I should have asked is, what is the longest stay I should have said on one of those very large boats? Again, it relates to...
when you say a large boat...
well, again, coming out of from the video, I guess what the student is trying to ask, from being on those boats, obviously, there would be a time period that you would stay. So I guess what he or she is asking is, what is the longest period? Whether it is 3 days to a week, etc., etc.
It could be months at a time. If we go into the extreme, it could be months at a time, especially on the larger vessels, which are able to accommodate persons for a longer period of time. So they could stay out at ocean for months after refuel and stuff like that. So
okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
So at this time, I don't see any other questions coming in. So I want to thank you all so much for your expertise. I know that from the many questions our students have been filtering, there is an interest in the fishing industry. So on behalf of the St. Patrick Education District Guidance and Counseling, we thank you very much for your presentation. Do you have any final words for the students?
Yes, I would once again like to say thank you very much for having us. I think this is very important, as the students are never too young to begin making career-oriented decisions. And on behalf of all the staff on CFTDI, the manager of the Community and Outreach Department, we would like to hope all the students enjoy the rest of their career fair. I think we will be followed up next by the Coast Guard, so you'll get some more information on careers at sea. So you all have fun, enjoy the session, get the information, and yeah, pay attention and keep safe.
Okay, thank you so much. So at this time, we will have a motivational video as we await the Coast Guard. Thank you so much again, students. So while we are waiting the video, I am really hoping that students are very enthusiastic about choosing subjects when they reach to Form 3, so that all of this wealth of information that you are getting, you are excited to chart your path as you dream it and make it happen. So we will await the motivational video.
There is more than an image that I want to project. I want to be the person that is the first person there and the last person to leave. That's who I want to be, because I think that the road to success is through commitment and through the strength to drive through that commitment when it gets hard. And it is going to get hard, and you're going to want to quit sometimes, but it'll be colored by who you are and more who you want to be. I definitely found that wanting to be an actor stems from wanting to be somebody.
My mom wanted me to be a truck driver because that would mean I'd make $24,000 a year if I went to Truck Masters. And that would be twice what my father made. And she thought that would happen, but something inside of me said, I don't want to drive a truck. There's something else that matters more to me. And I decided I was not gonna go for money instead of passion. And the rewards have been pretty amazingly better than being a truck driver. It's not bad being a truck driver, it's just not what I was after. And I look back, and one of the things that helped me was my original teacher, Jim Rohn, who was a personal development speaker. I went to hear when I was 17. He said something the first time I heard him, and he said, you know, it's really simple. If you want life to change, you got to change. If you want life to be better, you've got to get better. It's the only way it happens. And luck will show up for people and it'll leave them. But if you're constantly improving who you are and what you give, game over.
See if you can find some ways to multiply your value to the marketplace. And he said your income will immediately start to change.
See, if you go through life holding back, and most of us do, most of us, if we ask ourselves, have we done all we can do? Most of us will have to answer, no, we haven't. We've been holding back. We have ideas that we don't act on, things we want to do. We're afraid to take chances. We go through life trying to seek security and not coming outside of our comfort zone, and we take most of our stuff with us to the grave.
Up until then, I was hoping that the economy would change. I was hoping that my company would change. I was hoping that my paycheck would change. I was hoping that circumstances outside would change. And then here's what I found out. It isn't going to change. So then my question was, if it isn't going to change, how will my life ever change? And here's what my teacher taught me. When you change, everything will change for you.
And I'm saying that the fact that you're still here, that you're still breathing, you've got some more work. And you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. So when you get up in the morning, that you can look yourself in the face and say, hey, I'm living my life on my terms.
Change your question, change your life. When it comes to planning your life, I want to get you to learn to ask 3 questions now. The question you want to ask yourself is, what do I want? What's my outcome? What's my result? The word RPM, the first one, is to get you focused on the target. The target is not the activity. The activity can change. It's what's the result I'm after. If you know exactly what it is you really want, what you desire, what you're really after, clarity is power. The more clear you are and specifically what you want, the faster your brain can get you there. But if you're generally saying things like, what do I want? Well, I want more money. Fine, here's $1, get out of here. Whether you get the outcome or not, whether you get that result, will be based first, do you have clarity? And the second thing is, whether you got enough emotional juice to keep going after it when things don't work out. Did you achieve the outcome? Yeah, when you're that general, you think you're not getting your goal, you are. The way you language your goal, the way you think about it, you're receiving it. I want to feel a bit better. I want to lose some weight. Fine, you lost a pound, you're done.
You get better, everything will get better for you. And that's where I picked up that phrase, for things to change, you've got to change. You don't have to change the marketplace. You don't have to change the marketing plan. You don't have to change the economy. You don't have to change countries. You don't have to change circumstances out there. All you've got to do is look within and see if you can change yourself for the better. And as you change, things will start to change for you.
What's the result I'm after? What's the ultimate result? What do I want out of this week, out of this thing, out of my business, out of my life, for my body?
Don't concern yourself too much with how you're going to achieve your goal. Leave that completely to a power greater than yourself. All you have to do is know where you're going. The answers will come to you of their own accord.
Here's my best advice. Welcome all experiences. You never know which one is going to turn everything on.
Are there going to be some moments when you want to give up? Yes. Will there be some moments when it's going to seem like it's impossible? The pain that you're experiencing, the disappointment that you're experiencing, that you're going to say, it's not worth it? Yes, that's going to be right there for you. It's going to be in your face, telling you to go back.
When we think about changing our lives, usually that means changing your behaviors, retraining yourself, getting new habits, going out and trying them out and changing your life. This is about changing your thoughts, and then your life will change. Change your thoughts, change your life.
Benjamin Disraeli said, nothing can resist a human will that will stake its existence on its purpose. Shortly put, I'll do it or die.
Know that all you have to do is hold your goal before you. Everything else will take care of itself.
And I can tell you that it doesn't make any difference what age you are, whether you're a teenager watching this, or whether you're someone in your 60s, 70s, 80s, or anywhere along the way, you can make that change.
Every thought, every feeling, every emotion you experience in this lifetime is shaped by beliefs and values. All of your life is controlled by decisions you make. Decisions about what to believe, decisions about what to feel, decisions about what to do. And most of us are on automatic pilot, letting the world trigger us instead of taking back control of our life. And when you do that, just think of it this way. Anything you want to change your body, you want to change your career, your business, your relationship. What to do requires the right strategy. If you want to lose weight and keep it off, you can't obviously just throw your pendulum and go on some silly diet. You got to know the things that are going to give you lasting results. So we teach those strategies. But some people even know what to do, but they don't do it. And why are we able to get people to do it, to follow through? Because 80% of success in anything, my friends, is psychology, and 20% is the mechanics. What that means is there's how to do stuff and there's why to do stuff. How to do it is not that complex. And if you really learn from somebody who knows those refined distinctions, they can show you those tipping points, those things you can do where in the least amount of time you get the biggest result.
As you look at yourself as a business operator, as you look at yourself as an entrepreneur, as you look at yourself as a person that want to make a mark with your life, that want to leave a legacy, you've got to be hungry. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. You want to find people who master that because success leaves clues. And that's the same thing I'm suggesting to you. Whatever area that you want to go in it's finances, in business, insurance industry, whatever area that you're interested in, find the people who are mastering that and follow their example. Watch your relationships. They're nourishing relationships and they're toxic relationships. Nourishing relationships, they bring the best out of you. They inspire you. Toxic relationships, they drain you. People that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. People that are hungry believe, always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. People that are hungry know if you want to be successful, you must be willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. Complain, point at your circumstances, give up your power, blame the government, blame the economy. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. It's hard to make a radical change in your behavior. It's hard to take ownership. It's hard to swallow the bitter pill that wherever you find yourself, at some point in time, you made an appointment to be there. That's hard. That's hard. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. If you do what is hard, your life will be easy.
I like that. If you do what is hard, your life would be easy. But if you do what is easy, your life would be hard. A lot to think about, students. And with all of that, I know that with the information that we are providing, you will be able to make the right decisions. I just wanted to summarize all the careers that we have been exposed to since Tuesday. So on Tuesday, we had CTS, and they would have spoken about information technology and business. We had the health industry. We had the engineering sector. Yesterday, we had the Institute of Marine Affairs, as well as we had Pro ATS, pilots wanting to fly in the sky. And today, we would have been introduced to the fishery industry. And do you know who we have next? We have the Coast Guard. So this morning, without any further ado, let me just introduce Lieutenant Lamy, and he will share about the career as a Coast Guard. Good morning, sir. All right, as our presenter just gets ready, I know that you are seeing the screen. So we would be introduced to the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard. And I know from being face to face, when we have career days, I know that students gravitate a lot to this booth. Forgive me, sir, I did not recognize the name Jonathan Joseph. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Joseph, are you ready, sir?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Sorry about the delay, everyone. My apologies.
That is not a problem, sir. So
right.
you can go ahead. We are hearing you loud and clear. You can go ahead.
Right. I am just getting set up. So
sorry, I'm sharing right now, right?
Yeah, sure.
Not my screen. Slideshow, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Get back. Take it back.
Who's on? We are not there, no. I'm not sure what that part. To see yourself, that's right. That's the man. What's up? Secretary and then talk, right? So good.
All right, morning again, people. Hello.
Yes, we are hearing you loud and clear, sir. We are hearing you loud and clear.
Great. All right. You all see me or no?
We're seeing the screen.
Seeing the screen, no problem. Well, I guess I'll just talk about myself.
Yeah, sure.
I'll just give a brief introduction. My name is 6972 Able Simon Joseph J. I was born Jonathan Joseph. Right, I am 32 years of age and I am a serving member of the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard for the past 12 years. Now, I'm just going to give a brief on the Coast Guard and its doings, and then I'll get more into me after this slide. All right, so what you're seeing here is the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, the naval ensign. This is the flag that we fly. It's flown between the hours of 8 and sunset time every day. That's Sunday to Sunday. All right. We'll be looking at the history of the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, the role of the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, requirement for enlistment into the Coast Guard, specialization fields within the Coast Guard, the rank structure, commission ranks and non-commission ranks, the assets of the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, and there'll just be a slide of the gallery. The Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard was commissioned on August 27, 1962 as a prerequisite for the defense of a newly independent state. It was the first maritime component defense force. The headquarters is located at Stobers Bay, Chaguaramas, 20 kilometers west of the capital city, Port of Spain. Now I'll just add to this by saying that the
Mr. Joseph, for some reason, we are not hearing you.
not a paramilitary, but a military organization. I'll continue. Commander Loftus E. Peyton Jones, Royal Navy, retired, 6 officers and 42 ratings, enlisted men, which I'll explain after. Second, from the Royal Navy and the local Marine Police constituted the initial Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard complement, which manned 4 launches in Stobers Bay, Chaguaramas. Too fast. Yeah. Opa. All right, from these, I'm beginning to the total strength of over 1,500 commissioned officers and non-commissioned officers, multiple bases and increased assets and the infrastructure. The Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard continues to forge ahead and in its role as the primary institution responsible for maritime safety and security in Trinidad and Tobago. Our roles: surveillance of territorial waters, anti-smuggling and anti-narcotic operations, logistical support to Trinidad and Tobago land forces, fisheries protection and enforcement, pollution surveillance and enforcement, aid to civil law enforcement, port security, and assistance in scientific research. The requirements for enlistment into the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard: commissioned officers. You must be 18 to 24 years of age, 5 O-level subjects, including English, mathematics, and a science subject. Must also possess at least 2 advanced A-level subjects, grades A to C, and a general paper. The non-commissioned officers, however, must be 18 and 24 years of age, must be a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, must have no police record or police certificate of good character. For the, now, it's broken up into 4 batches, right? 4 departments. They are the seaman, the writer, and the technician, and the cook or steward as well. For the seaman, like myself, all you need is 3 CXC or GC O-level passes inclusive of mathematics and English, A general proficiency. For writer, 4 CXC O-level passes inclusive of mathematics and English, A general proficiency, in addition to certificate in computer literacy, accounting, finance, logistics, warehousing, inventory, or any equivalent combination of qualifications. For the technician, there are 4 CXC O-level passes, and most inclusive of both maths and English, proficiency in addition certification in mechanical or electrical technology. For the cook or steward, certification in culinary arts, including but not limited to the Trinidad and Tobago Hotel School, diploma in culinary arts or equivalent combination of qualifications and experiences. Specialization field within the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard. For the seamen, Now, this is just like the general rating in the yard, right? You have the qualifications as being a medic. That's straightforward. Those who deal with the first aid, those who deal with the safety and health of those on the base, as well as civilians. The gun armor, that's the person who is in charge of the weapons, who would distribute the weapons, who would teach about the weapons. Physical training instructor, those are the people who are the ones who would keep us fit. Dietitians, right? And they would run the exercises daily, just because at the end of the day in the military, you need to be at a certain level of fitness. Massage therapist, well, this goes hand in hand with the physical training instructor. And then, well, the divers are the persons who would dive to go like for retrieve bodies, those who clean the boats, because we need divers for that as well. For the writer, you must, the computer literacy, the accounting, finance, logistics, warehousing, inventory, stores management. For the technician, you could come in as a mechanic, that is both auto and diesel, an electrician, a wireman, or electronics, a shipwright. A shipwright is another name or a naval term for a carpenter, right? You'll have welders, AC technicians, and plumbers in the plumbing department. For the cooks, you could come in as a chef or a baker, and well, a steward. If you are like, it's a naval term for waiter, layman terms. This way, you see right here, this is the rank structure. This is what you would see everybody wondering, what are those things, those gold things on your shoulder? Well, this is what we wear as rank. This is for the commissioned officers. You will see the Rear Admiral, the Commodore, Captain, Commander, Lieutenant Commander, Lieutenant, Sub-Lieutenant, Midshipman, and Officer Cadet. For the non-commissioned officers rank structure, there's the Fleet Chief Petty Officer, the Chief Petty Officer, the Petty Officer, and the leading rate. All these ranks go, you would join the work, as a non-commissioned officer. You would become an ordinary seaman. Then you would be promoted to an able-bodied seaman like myself. And from there, you'll be promoted to a leading rate. Then you go up again, you go up to Petty Officer, to a Chief Petty Officer, and then a Fleet Chief Petty Officer. This is the last rank that you would reach in the work before you retire. This here is Captain Don Polo. He's right now the existing commanding officer of the Trinidad Coast Guard. I am sure you have seen him not on TV or on papers. He was also the aide to the president for a number of years. That would include President George Maxwell Richards and President Anthony Carmona. This is just a picture of the fast cruise supplier vessel. The different vessels that we have right now on our fleet. These are the spars that are currently working right now. And with these spars, they are the interceptors. Right, this is the multi-purpose vessel, the MVP, CG60. This is the biggest vessel that we have at the moment. These are the divers at work. These are the different departments. As a non-commissioned officer, you could be a naval police. I'll explain that after. We also aid in flood victims. If anyone can remember, we had assisted with the flood victims in Greenvale. These are just the vessels at night. And again, people, these are working vessels. Coast Guard has now acquired the use of 2 motorcycles. They are used for outriders and also the dispatching of meals. And this is Stowell's Bay. I don't know how much of you all have been here before. This is a small picture of Stowell's Bay. Nice. As I say, very short and sweet. What the Coast Guard has to offer.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
There are a few questions coming
No problem.
from the students. Let me start with the first one. Do they have any guns attached to the boats? Now, mind you, sir, these Form 1s, Form 2s, so you would find that there are some questions. Yes, I'm seeing this. I'm seeing this. You have me laughing too.
Yeah. What's expected?
So yes, so you will answer accordingly, sir.
No problem. It's short and sweet. Yes,
Short
there are weapons attached, right? They are not attached that they can't come out. They are attachable, and also the crew also is equipped with weapons as well.
All
but
right.
that is the last resort that we use.
Yes, I hear you. At what age? I know you may have shared it in the presentation, but just to reiterate, at what age do you enter into the Coast Guard?
You can enter at the age of 18.
Okay.
At the age of 18. I had entered at the age of 20. Right? And they say the earlier the better.
All right. So someone is asking, what is the difference between non-commissioned and commissioned officers, and how much does a seaman get? Yes, how much does a seaman? How much do seamen get paid? Sorry.
Well, to be honest, the seaman does not get as much money as the commissioned officers.
Okay.
Right? We work a little harder. Right? But honestly, the difference between the non-commissioned and the commissioned is an appointed position that you get from the president.
Okay.
Whereas a group of people who would how to put it, interview you for the non-commissioned, right? President is the one who appoints the commission.
Okay. All right.
Could the salaries are a big difference because
yes,
of
I
allowances
recognize
and all these nice things.
Yes,
but it also goes with responsibilities as well. Non-commissioned would have a lot of more responsible rules than a non-commissioned officer.
Okay. Sure, thank you. How long is the training? Another question is coming in. How
The
long
training,
is the training?
The training is for it depends. Training is between 4 to 6 months.
All right. And in terms of the dangers of the job?
There is a lot of dangers, and the additional danger of COVID right now, because again, we deal with a lot of the illegal immigrants coming across.
Okay.
And this is first respond. This is first respond. It's not like you could pick and choose. Hey, I think you have COVID. No. Right. So we have that. You could drown. There's the dangers of the boat given it is man-made.
Could you just reiterate the different departments? I'm seeing a question coming in. What are the different departments?
All right. The different departments are, there's the seaman branch. There's the writer branch. There's the technician branch. And then there is the cooks and stewards.
All right. Okay. Someone is asking you, do you like being a Coast Guard?
Sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes. Sometimes it's like every other job, you know, you have your up days, your bad days. Yeah, it have the summer days.
All right, okay. And how many hours? Another question is coming in. How many hours do you work?
That depends. Now, this is not an 8 to 4 job. This is a job that you could be working 24 hours, 48 hours. Sometimes you come thinking, you know, I'll be going home tomorrow, but it end up being a week. End up being 2 months. And that's just the job. So we always pack, as sailors, we always pack and prep our minds, prep our families, and let them know, hey, I'm going to work today, but I don't know what time I'll be back home.
All right, okay, I hear you. Students have been asking this question throughout. What kind of equipment? I know you mentioned the rifle, but what other kinds of equipment do you all use?
In terms of?
In terms of the job, whether you are on land or on the sea, what other kinds of equipments you use?
I know these questions might be coming from the Call of Duty video games. And you know what type of weapons and how to put we use weapons both on land and on sea, sorry. We are just like every other military, you know, we carry weapons. We need to carry weapons to protect our life, protect the assets, protect the government assets as well.
Okay.
Nothing different. Nothing different.
Someone is asking, do you all deal with a lot of narcotics coming in to our borders?
A lot of narcotics, a lot of illegal immigrants, a lot on a daily basis, and it's something that the media, the social media don't put it out there. You know, Coast Guard always sleeping, they ain't doing anything, the boats not working. We are always out there all the time. All the time, bringing in stuff. We just don't highlight it or bring it to the media. Because the most important job is to get it done, get it off the seas before it even reaches the Trinidad and Tobago. That's it.
All right. In terms of women on the job, I guess this is coming from our female population. Are there a lot of women working in the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard?
Yes, there are a lot of women. And some of the women, even I plan to say some of the women better than some of the men in terms of skill set.
Okay.
The job here it's unisex. There's not or because you are a woman, you can't do this. No, women doing the same thing just as men. And this is something that goes back into training.
All right. Okay.
Yes, the women doing the same thing as men. If you, all right, for example, if you had to do 100 push-ups, the females will be next to you doing 100 push-ups. They have to learn to swim. You will be in the water learning to swim with a female, or a female will be in the water learning to swim with a male.
All right.
And don't the courses are available in the job, right? Okay. I could tell you that part of my background, I didn't at the time the passes would have been just in three subjects. Maths and English wasn't mandatory. Now it is. I actually learned Maths and English through Coast Guard, as in Coast Guard Ratings teaching you Maths and English. I have under my belt, since the 12 years I've been here, I have done the medic course. I am a medic as well, right? I am now in the department of public relations. I have learned photography.
Okay.
Right. I was actually given the opportunity to go to St. Vincent, but I couldn't due to certain circumstances. But you could go anywhere.
All right.
Anyway. And mind you, there are women out at sea going working 7 days on, 7 days off, with families, with kids. It's all about priorities.
I hear you. A student wants to know, what is the most dangerous aspect of your job?
The most dangerous aspect of your job is patrolling the borders. You never know what you might find out here.
Wow. All right. And in terms of your health and safety as an officer, what is put in place in terms of ensuring that members of staff are safe?
Well, reference safety, I will start with the whole COVID-19. All the protocols are being observe, number one. Right, we starting with that inside here first before anything else. In terms of safety at sea, we always are provided with life jackets. Right?
Okay.
We are always provided with life jackets. We work in our most safe environment.
All right. You see me just pause there for a minute because I'm reading through all the questions.
Okay, no problem.
Another student wants to know what you would consider the advantage, the pros and cons of being a Coast Guard, the advantages and disadvantages.
The advantages of being a Coast Guard, you would be, you gain a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. All right, so I will give a background story of me. I never knew anything about Coast Guard. I would go parades like everybody else and be like, wow, I like how that white looking, I like how the uniform looks, you know, and I want to be a thinking, you know, I come in here just to look good in white, not knowing what Coast Guard had to offer, right? And I have learned a lot. I would have been the normal person on the street. Yeah, I could swim whatever, but not knowing the advanced stage that the Coast Guard could teach you, right? In terms of experience, job stability as well. You have a job that is well secured. You don't have to worry about, wow, my contract going over, you know, I might get fired. No, it's not like that. Your job is secured. This is the only job that, this is the only job that you know you could do wrong and still have your job sometimes. Because at the end of the day, what the fuck? A normal 8 to 4 job, you might stay home tomorrow, you might lose your job the next day. Not like this. There are things put in place for this. Right? The cons, well, right now the cons are the social media is giving us a lot of backlash due to the current situation with our neighbor in Venezuela. Other than that, the advantage will always weigh out the disadvantages.
Outweigh the disadvantages. Yeah. I hear you. I hear you.
And if you tell you about the banks will be calling you, insurance companies will be calling you, not like the average, I'm not bashing any job aspect, but like the normal laborer on the road wouldn't be, you know, wouldn't be privy to certain things that a serviceman might be privy to. So.
No, there's a particular question that we keep getting, and I'm trying to phrase it in a particular way. Now, coming back to a statement that you made about the most dangerous aspect is patrolling the borders. Right. And I know that some of our students, with them and their video games, they see a lot of they will be exposed to the violent side. Let me just put it like that. So students are asking in terms of guarding your life, and in the patrolling of the borders. Has there ever been situations, and I know you will answer very diplomatically, have there ever been situations where there has been a reason to use your rifle to protect yourself? And I think you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just like any other job, the police officers, the army men, all who are put at risk, yes, there are always instances that will come up that, yes, you need to defend yourself, no matter what. You need to defend yourself and your crew and the government assets as well.
All right. And again, coming out from what they would be viewing, in terms of bombs, is there training where that is concerned?
Bombs. I can pass that information on to Petty Officer Fredericks, who is next to me.
All right, okay.
You can explain that.
All right.
Good day.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
My name is Petty Officer Frederick. 19 years service. Question again, I asked about explosives.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, their training, yes, for people like myself, class 2 armorers, we deal with small explosives. Yes, we learn about it. There's also the specialist unit that people are trained to defuse these bombs according to what type of bomb it is. right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So again, questions will be coming in because being a Coast Guard for a lot of students, it is really much a fascinating field. So you would find that the questions would be coming. So another question here is being asked. So if I can't swim, would I still qualify for the service?
Yes. Because Coast Guard, we train you how to swim. Bring you up to scratch. I say we bring you up to scratch because a lot of people who come inside there cannot swim, but when you get the experience in training, that's one of the things in training, basic swimming, right? And after when you pass out, according to you can continue swimming, get better. Because when I came into Coast Guard, I was a weak swimmer, but now I'm also a diver, right? So I believe I'm a pretty strong swimmer right now. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So again, a question is coming back with the commission and the non-commission. So if you are not now joining, could you become a commissioned officer?
Yes. Based on the qualifications requirements, we have, I think it's 3 A-levels, 5 CXA. One must include a science subject. I think you could apply for be a commission officer, which will be an officer cadet.
Okay.
Right? And then you'll go to officer school, you'll train, right? You train the same time according to what batch comes in, you will train with the batch also, and then you'll go off to officer school.
All right. Okay. A student is also asking, what is the average starting salary of someone in the Coast Guard service?
This much I will say, a public servant is as much more than a public servant, than a basic salary for a public servant, because our job is high risk, right? It's high risk, and there's a reason why they pay us different, right? Because Coast Guard and military in the whole, they get paid for every single day. Right?
All right.
Every single day. So whether you didn't come to work or you work, you're still getting paid for it for that day. However, that's why when you sign on the dot, you are supposed to respond. So you can be home, sit down playing PlayStation, and thinking, boy, right now, it's a sweet part in the game. You have to leave. So when they call on you, you have to leave. Sometimes, like in my career, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, you're out there on the North Coast, waiting on people who running illegal activities out there, right? So it is not as, yes, it might look glamorous, right? Most of the younger minds are accustomed to seeing this movie, this video game, Black Ops. I just play Black Ops. Well, I just play Black Ops, yeah. They keep you in tune, you know, right? I mean, on more the female side, they wouldn't understand, but the females just play Black Ops too. So it's, yes, Black Ops is part of it. Give you a little insight of what it is like, but in reality, it is a lot, right? Being out there in the night and thing, late, sometimes in Coast Guard, being real with you with Coast Guard, you could come to work today and you're going to go in the next 14 days because remember, you're getting paid for it. You could go to work, you could spend 1 month on work and up 2 months. So it all depends, right?
All right. Okay. Another question about the training. Is the training very harsh?
We have a saying in Coast Guard, pain is weakness leaving the body, right? Pain is weakness leaving the body. So if your body weak, you will feel the pain. Right? So pain is weakness leaving the body, right? Like in life and anything you do, once you put your mind to it, you could achieve it. No matter what you do. Once you put your mind, start with your mind first. So if you start off in your mind that, hey, this thing is hard, it is going to keep you right at that point where you cannot cross, right? So you have to forget about that. So yeah.
I hear you. I hear you. Another question. How often do you get to come home to your family?
Again, you're getting paid for every day, right? Leave is a privilege.
Mm-hmm.
Leave is a privilege, right? So if it's exigency service, if you come to work today and they say, listen, you can't go home until 3 days, 4 days after. Exigency service.
All right, okay. As I was explaining to your colleague, bear in mind Form 1s and Form 2s, so they will be asking particular kinds of questions. So I'm trying to phrase them. So one question is in terms of the mortality rate, and somehow I suspect what the student is trying to ask, seeing that you are on the job 24/0, in terms of the officer, seeing that the training is also grueling, so to speak. A lot of persons, in terms of the mortality rate of the officer, at what age, I guess they're trying to get at, you would find that a person's ability to function will decrease. Let me put it in that way. So, yes, at what age you would notice an officer, that sort of energy, I guess, the energy and the vitality when you are a whole lot younger, at what age you would find that person. I think you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah. If you look at the requirements, right, 18 to 24. Now, there's a reason why they said 18 to 24.
Mm-hmm.
That period there is where your body could take pressure, right? After 25, now there are people who could go up to 30 years old, and they could still run at 2 miles, 3 miles in 11 minutes and all these things, right? Let's see. Over the, not everyone does, like, stamina level are the same, will be the same. Not everyone stamina level will be the same. So it all depends on you as an individual to keep up your fitness.
All right.
That's the important.
Okay.
So it's all an individual basis. It's up to you. So if you want to reach, in Coast Guard, the retirement ages are 45, 47, and 50.
Oh, all right. So yes, that answers a good part of that question. Yes.
Right.
All right. So I am not seeing any more questions other than students wanting to get contact information, or if there is a web page that they can go to, or if they want further information, how can they get contact information? Yes.
You have on Facebook, the Coast Guard TTCG. Facebook page. We have them also on Instagram. We have a Coast Guard Instagram page also, right? TTCG, right? Yeah.
All right. So Facebook as well as Instagram, they would be able to get the information. And I will encourage the students to please contact your guidance officer and guidance counselor. If it is you require any information for the gentlemen, they will be able to get on to the officers. So I sincerely appreciate this, Mr. Johnson, and I forgot your name, sir.
Frederick.
Right.
Jonathan.
Yes. Thank you so much. So on behalf of the St. Patrick Education District, this was an interesting conversation, very knowledgeable. I must say my hats off to you all, and it was a wealth of information. Thanks so much again.
That's our purpose. We are here to share.
Yes, thanks so much again. So God bless. Take care.
Thank you.
So yes, students, wow, we have been having an interesting morning, students, and we are going to roll right into it because I am seeing the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service also on board with us, the Child Protection Unit. So I know they too will have a wealth of information to share with us. So I want to introduce this morning WPC Lashley, and I believe Sergeant George is also on. So if I can invite the presenters to come center stage, and we welcome your presentation. Thank you very much.
Five minutes, please. Wait.
All right. Sure. If you need a 5 minutes, that's not a problem. That's not a problem. Okay.
It went already.
Sure. So students, let's chat as we await the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Child Protection Unit. So y'all could chat with me. How has the feedback been? You could give me some feedback. As I said, we have been exposed to so many careers, and I am hoping that you are enjoying everything that we are sharing. So talk to me. How has it been going? Anybody is interested in becoming a Coast Guard? Anybody's interested in going into the health sector? Anybody wants to be in marine affairs? Talk to me. Tell me some of the professions that you all are thinking about. All right. So yes, I recognize you are very, very interested in what is happening. Okay, thank you for that feedback. It is fun and educational. Nice, wonderful, wonderful. I just want to share with tech support that the TTPS and they are trying to share their screen. So if it is, you can lend some assistance. Thank you very much. So let me give you all some stories then as we are awaiting. So I remember years ago, well, let me not say years, so it makes it look as though I'm ancient, but one of the wonderful things about your living in this time, I did not have credits when I went to school. So in terms of choosing subjects, a lot of it had to do with what teachers would have shared, what your parents would have shared, as well as what you would have seen around. So I know that at this stage in your life, having all of this information, it gives you the option to choose. And I'm seeing some people saying that they want to be a pilot, some person saying they want to be a police officer, and that is wonderful. Another person saying that they want to go into the marine sciences, sorry. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. So I'm happy to know that this information is really helping you make wise choices. So I'm seeing that our police officers are ready. So once again, we welcome WPC Lashley and Sergeant George. So thank you so much. You'll go ahead. Thank you so much, ladies.
Hi, good morning. I am 18570 WPC Ren Lashley.
Hi, I am 14674 Woman Sergeant George.
We are attached to the Child Protection Unit, both South and Southwestern, and we are pleased. It's an honor to be here today. All right, as you can see our screen here, this is our beautiful pictures, right? So you all can check us out and stuff like that. The theme for today is dream it, believe it, make it happen. So that is why we have 3 stages in your life, where primary school, secondary school, and make it happen, my dream. So it's my dream. I attended San Fernando Girls Government School. I went from there to Fights-About Composite, and now I'm a police officer. I did attend UE, but those are the main important parts in your life, okay? Our introduction here. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is both a civil and paramilitary body, which functions in accordance with the Police Service Act, Chapter 1501. Over 65 100 police officers in varying ranks and special reserve police support the mandate of the service. The TNT Police Service is organized into 9 divisions and 18 branches, squads, and units. Explain.
So, as much as you're seeing special reserve police, we have what we call regular police officers. That's those who would have trained maybe between 3 to 6 months. And then we have special reserve officers. That is for officers who may or may not have had the qualifications to become a regular officer, or who have now become, let's say they're in the adult stage, they're over 35 years. We will explain to you the recruitment process, and they may or may not have a permanent job or a part-time job. So they are special reserve where they are part-time police officers, basically. They do the same, absolutely same functions as a police officers or regular police officers. They're just deemed as the special reserved police officers. So there's nothing wrong if you are a special reserve police officer. Yes, so we'll continue. And we have over 18 branches within the TTPS. So the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, it's a wide array of sections that you can come into if you want to make the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service your career option.
All right, so we have it, we have all the information here. So we have community, you can be a community police officer, work in the police complaints, special branch, guard and emergency branch, criminal investigation division. That is for those who like to investigate, look into burglaries and stuff like that. We have criminal records office, organized crime, narcotics unit, homicide, fraud squad, court and process, police band, mountain and canine branch, police training college, E99, traffic and highway patrol, transport and telecom. The maintenance of law and order, that is mainly our duty to maintain law and order within our society, within Trinidad and Tobago. We use different preventative methods and different things we do to detect crime, right? And we prosecute offenders. That is our main goal, to bring people who would have done wrong before the court to answer to their crimes. Okay, so the Child Protection Unit. We are police officers attached to the Child Protection Unit, both South and Southwestern. Our Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith, has placed the care of the nation's children and society in the hands of the Woman Police Superintendent, Claire Guy Allen, who's in charge of both the Child Protection Unit and the Gender-Based Violence Unit. The Child Protection Unit was established in 2015, and we are mandated to ensure that the nation's children are safe, secure, and well protected, as they are our future. We are guided by the laws of Trinidad and Tobago, mainly the Children's Act 12 of 2012. Gender-based violence is mandated to assist both adults and minors and can be found in the 9 divisions, just like the Child Protection Unit. All right, so you see that lovely lady there? That is our superintendent, Ms. Claire Guy Allen, who's in charge of both units.
This person that you're seeing here is one of the inspectors, because we have varying ranks, as we said before, who's in charge of the Southwestern Division. And because, Bethany, you're in Southwestern, we decided to just show a picture of the Southwestern officer who is directly in charge of the subunit of the Child Protection Unit. So, of course, the ranks would be constables. Who's asking? We have corporals, that's just above a constable. So as you go up in rank, you have more responsibility. And of course, the salary would get even more, just in case. Constables, corporals, we have sergeants, and of course, the inspector. And then you have something called the First Division officers, which are assistant superintendent of police. We have superintendent of police. We have senior superintendent of police. Those would be the ones in charge of an entire division. And then, of course, you would have the assistant commissioner of police. And then we have deputy commissioner of police. And of course, Commissioner of Police, which is Mr. Gary Griffith, who we affectionately call GG. And I'm sure most of you all know that. And because he has been so instrumental in the reestablishment and all the new laws and the things that we are now doing now, where, we have a faster rate of detection because of Mr. Gary Griffith, our lovely commissioner. Yes?
We are moving along. All right, so we have roles and functions as child protection unit officers. So what it is that we receive reports from all the stations. We have about 10 stations within the Southwestern District. I can speak about Southwestern because I'm an officer attached to the Southwestern Division. So we receive reports. So when you have a report, you go to the station, you give them your report, and then it automatically comes to us. We will then now make contact with you or communicate with you via telephone, or we may even come to your homes. And here we will record statements, conduct an interview with you, and then we will prepare a file and submit it to our seniors. So me being a constable, I'll submit that file to my corporal, who will then submit it to the sergeant, who will then submit it to the inspector. When we see there is enough ingredients to prefer a charge, the inspector then in turn gives an instruction on that said file that this person be prosecuted for whether it be sexual penetration, sexual touching, grooming, meeting a child, inciting, all these different offenses that comes under the Children's Act. We also conduct patrols. We assist the community police officers by passing by schools. Well, we have no school right now due to the COVID, but that is one of our mandates, where we would go to the schools, check on the children, see if there's any reports, liaise with the guidance officers. All these things we are mandated to do. Okay.
So, as our label is Child Protection Unit, we basically deal with children rights and offenses against children. And under the Children's Act, which came out in 2012, and of course, I know most of you are tech savvy, so you can always go up on the internet or ask your parents to go up on the internet and look for the Children's Act, where you can read about a lot of the offenses that we have and that we investigate. So under the Children's Act, a child means a person who is under the age of 18 years. So for those of you who believe that you're old enough to do certain things, we are saying, the law is saying that you cannot. You are considered a minor, you're considered a child. So you must get permission from your parents to do certain things, to go certain places, to be allowed on certain sites, let's say the internet, and we will investigate. If anyone comes to do anything against you, any sort of offense, crime, we are the ones who will definitely come and investigate it. And of course, as Ms. Lashley said, we will prefer a charge, which means just to arrest the person, arrest that perpetrator, the defender, the suspect, and bring that person before the court, where they will get jail time, because most of our offenses are very serious and we put them behind bars. So don't ever be afraid to say if someone has done you something wrong. We'll get on into some of the offenses that we deal with in a very short while. Right, so here on the screen, you'll see something called sexual penetration of a child. That is section 18. So I won't go into the exact sections for you, but sexual penetration is basically where an adult, or sometimes children your age, your co-peers at school or home, or where even family members will penetrate you. That simply means, I know you all are Form 1s, Form 2s, it simply means where somebody's inserting something or even a body part, their body part, into one of your orifices. And an orifice basically is like an opening. So let's say your mouth, let's say your vagina, let's say your ears, let's even say your anus. Now I know you may scream at it, but this is the type of crimes that we have, and these are the type of crimes that we investigate. And these are the things that are happening right now in Trinidad and Tobago, right? So this is just called sexual penetration, and it carries a life sentence. So I want you all to always speak up. If anybody is doing anything like that to you, you must never ever be ashamed of anything that somebody has done to you, because you're a child and you cannot give anyone permission to do anything like that. Yes? There's something called sexual touching, and it basically means somebody touches you inappropriately. You know, there's good touch, there's bad touch. So if somebody comes, an adult, just don't forget, an adult comes to touch you, that is wrong. We need you to speak up. Even if one of your peers at school Do not let your peers at school, a cousin, a family come and touch you inappropriately. So inappropriately means what? If you all can give me that answer, you all can type it in for your teacher and let me know. What are some of the places that you think is inappropriate? If your teacher can, she'll also let us know, right? So don't let anybody touch you inappropriately. Let me know where you think inappropriate means. There's no wrong answers. And then we have an offense called causing or inciting a child to engage in a sexual act. Causing or inciting just means somebody's encouraging you. Again, it's not just adults do these things. We have a lot of cases where your cousins, where your friends, your neighbors come and say, hey, let me go and watch a little something called a blue movie. We don't want you watching that either.
A porn.
Those are porn.
Yes.
So sometimes they do that, or they cause you to touch them and say, that is how we show love. That is not how children show love. Correct. And that is not how an adult shows love to a child. Correct. If mommy or daddy hugs you, that is fine. If they give you a kiss on your cheek, that is fine.
That is love.
So that is love. But no one is supposed to touch you in an appropriate way or cause you to do something. Now, they might threaten you, which is wrong. They might even promise to buy you stuff. And we don't want anybody buying us stuff if it's not somebody that you know. So don't let any stranger come and tell you, let me buy something for you and then you do this for me. We also have an offense called causing a child to watch a sexual act. So that is, again, we are talking about watching a blue movie or watching pornography. And I know a lot of you may or may not know what pornography is, but that is just a sexual act on a screen. Or even pictures, they may show you pictures. Those things, it's a no-no. We don't do those things. Those things are wrong and they are offenses. And then we have an offense called meeting a child following grooming. I know a couple of years ago, there was a report where a gentleman was grooming a child. That simply means this is really an adult who is trying to say, oh, darling, you're looking nice. Young girl, you're looking sweet. You know, they give you all these sweet talk. But before COVID, when you were traveling, they would tell you, you're looking so sweet, you know, I love you, I want to meet you, I want to give you this, you know, you'll be a very good looking young lady when you grow up, or you're going to be a handsome young boy.
Especially on IG.
Especially on Instagram, we'll go there very, very soon. And they promise you stuff and they want to buy you a cell phone, or they want to give you snacks, or they want to give you sneakers, or they want to give you all sorts of things that they believe your parents can't give you. So that is something called grooming. And then they tell you all these nice things to lure you or for you to trust them. And then when you trust them, they do sexual acts either with you, or they cause you to watch a pornographic picture or a movie, or they cause you to touch them. And all of that are offenses. Now, those are just a few that we named. As we said, you all can go online and look at the Children's Act and you'll see all of the offenses. All of the offenses, yes?
All right, so we're moving along and we are going into the rights of a child. Now, oh my, these children feel they have a lot of rights, but they do, yes, actually they do. You all have a right to an education, right? It's free. Well, in Trinidad and Tobago, it's free. You all have a right to be safe. You all have a right to play. You all also have a right to be heard. You all have a right to have affection, love, understanding. I mean, your parents hugging you up, you know, commending you. You all have a right to be protected against all forms of neglect, cruelty, exploitation. You all have a right to medical care. Yes, we agree that you all have a right, but let's move along. Children also have a duty as well to be a child. Right now, I am a Christian, okay? Also, Sergeant George is a Christian, right? We believe that there are certain laws under God's law that children ought to follow. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. You have to obey your parents. You know, it have some children, I know plenty young people don't like to wash wares. They don't like to wash their clothes. They don't like to pick up after themselves. And oh, mommy abusing me. So if your mother hits you a tap, no, that is not abuse. That is correction, okay? So if your mommy withhold money from you or don't allow you to go somewhere, that is not abuse. I mean, you are to help in the house. You live there, and to use any cup and to use any plate. So you could wash it, yes? Honor your father and your mother so that your days may be long. We have come across a lot of disrespectful young people. Now, these young people, they tend to curse out their mother, quarrel with the grandmother, even hit the grandmother with cutlass planners. We have different reports that we deal with that sometimes we are amazed like, wow, oh my God, these children actually doing that. All right, so let us try to be kind to one another. Let us try to love one another. Let us try to appreciate one another. I mean, you're in a home. I mean, you have a lot of things. You have a bed to sleep on. There are children who don't have beds. Look at what is going on in St. Vincent. I mean, in Barbados, where we have floods all over the place. So you all are blessed. Right? Let's just put it like that. You all are blessed. All right? So we're moving right along. All right, there's certain negativity that surrounds children. I'm going to let Sergeant George elaborate on this a little more. Okay.
So when we say negativity, well, we know negative is not a good word. So the fact that you have a right to go to school and for love and affection, there are certain things that have happened in school that we see. So that is why Ms. Lashley would have said that sometimes we do patrols in the school, and we also, in conjunction with the community police, we come in to find out exactly what has been going on. Now, there's peer pressure. I am sure a lot of you may have had peer pressure. But I know some of you are also Form 1, so I know you all were not so privy to that in the secondary school, but then it also happens in primary school. There's no age. And what is peer pressure? This is where somebody is basically forcing you or encouraging you, inciting you, causing you to actually do something that you don't want to do. Let's say they want you to go and write something negative about the teacher on the board. That is not right. Pull the chair from the teacher, pull the chair from somebody else. Those things are not right.
Be the leader, not the follower.
Be a leader, not a follower. And then we have bullying. You have bullying. Bullying.
Sorry about this, but there's a typo here.
We have bullying. So bullying basically is where somebody is trying to bully you to do something. You know, it might be the older kids, it might be somebody younger, it might be somebody bigger than you. You know, there's always a quiet child in his classroom, right? And that quiet child is the one sometimes being picked up on. They might steal the person's money, their lunch, they call them all sorts of names, they always make fun of them, and that poor child now is afraid to go to school. So you find that the child may become withdrawn. So I want you to pay attention to some of those things. But sometimes your friends may not even tell you, well, you know, Peter, I hope nobody here named Peter. Peter is bullying me. And it's because they don't know how to say it. So you find the person might become withdrawn. So you must look at those things. It have anxiety. Anxiety is when you're just so looking for, it's an overwhelming feeling. Sometimes you lose your breath, you can't breathe, your heart palpitates, it beats so fast. It's anxiety. That's either because you don't want to go to school or something is bothering you. Mommy and daddy may be quarreling and you're anxious. So these are things that are not really good for a child. A child should not have anxiety attacks. No one should actually. Then you have depression. We all know what depression can lead to. That is just when you're just not feeling good about yourself. You just don't want to live anymore sometimes. You can't do good in school and you just don't know what to do. So you get withdrawn. So then you don't want to talk to anybody. You no longer want to go to school. You don't want to eat any food. You just have a feeling of dread. And if anything like that, if you have any thoughts like that, I want you to reach out to someone, an adult or a friend, and let them know, you know, I'm not feeling good. I think I'm depressed. You can also look up the word depressed and see exactly what depressed means. And then there's, of course, physical abuse. That's where we also come in, as well as the gender-based violence unit, right? And physical abuse is where an adult or your cousin or somebody's physically beating on you. They're causing you injuries. They're pushing you down. Your mother might tell you wash the wares. You might not do it in time, and then she comes with a pot and hits you. That is a no-no. Or the way she beats you so much that it leaves marks, it needs welts, there's cuts. Sometimes it have children, black and blue eyes. We have seen all of that. There was even a recent report where some teacher actually beat the child so badly. You know, the child end up with marks on their skin. So we deal with all of that. And then, of course, there's teenage pregnancy, which we have a lot of in Trinidad and Tobago. That's just basically you're a teenager and you become pregnant. And of course, sex before marriage is a no. You need to wait till you're an adult to have sex. And then we have a lack of love in the homes. Sometimes, you know, you don't always have love at the home. I can testify to you today. My parents never ever told me that they loved me. They never did. But I believe it was love because they always took care of me. They bought me books, they had food and stuff like that. So to me, growing up, that was just love. But now we are trying to show children that it's good. It's good for parents to tell their children that they love them, and that you tell your parents, Mommy, you know I love you, or Dad, you know I love you. Because what happens at times is that the love might come outside, or you may be looking for love on the outside. And we don't really want you to look for love on the outside, because that leads to the wrong things. And then, of course, there's poverty. Poverty can't always be helped. It is something negative. And because of poverty, you find some people, children, even adults, may go and steal. They may do the wrong things. And we don't want you to do the wrong things if you happen to be impoverished. Yes. But the thing is, now when you look at the social services, they are trying to help. We have food cards, we have lunches at school. Not because you're poverty, that means you're eating the food, right? Before, when I was growing up, lunch was just for everybody. You didn't have to, you just needed to sign up and you would get, and we used to have some good lunches then. I don't know about now what the lunch is like, but it has nothing to do whether you had food or you didn't have food. You were just entitled to get food. And now the government is really, really trying to help those children who cannot afford food because of their parents, maybe their parents' disability and they can't work. So they're trying to help children now to have lunch. So don't ever be ashamed of who you are, because there are a lot of persons, if you know where they came from, they are now role models. Sometimes they can be police officers, you don't know, they can be the army, sometimes they're in government. There's a lot of stories on the internet about persons who grew up in poverty and have overcome it. So, right, and there are many, many other things that surround children at this time, which is negative, but we want you always to overcome it, because you can, because you are strong, yes? So we're moving along.
Or missing persons. I know that we had some negativity in Trinidad and Tobago relative to a lot of young people who would have gone missing and who would have been killed in some way or the other. You know, we have the Barrett, we have John Luke, we have Hope, we have all these other people who would have gone missing. All right, so let us first define what is a missing person. A missing person is anyone whose whereabouts is unknown, whatever the circumstance or disappearance. All right, now, yes, we have the negativity, yes? And then we have types of missing children, runaways. Now, relative to the COVID, a lot of people, a lot of young people, we're going to say young ladies, gentlemen, you're not able to meet one another in schools. I mean, you know, some people think that, you know, they're not getting any love at home, so that they should have a boyfriend, right? And having sex is not love. It is not love. If somebody loves you, they will wait. They will ensure that you get an education so that you're able to provide for yourself. I mean, now it's good to see women who are strong leaders. You can buy your own Audi. Think about it. You could buy your own BMW. Think about it. Dress nicely. You could do it here, independent, yeah? But it's good. It's good to be married. It's good to wait. It's good to wait. I mean, education is the key to get out of poverty. All right? I'm not only saying that you can do other things. Even if you cannot take your book, you can learn a skill. That is why we have all these different life centers. We have Serve All. We have the MOS program. I just tell Mommy, look, if they had those things when I was younger, oh my God, I'll make real money. White up, they've actually given you a stipend. You understand? So I'm asking that the young people refrain from running away. I mean, simple things may be going on in the home. Yes, you may be, all right, you feel that this first love business, love at first sight, all these business that you all deal with. I mean, come on, if that person loves you, they won't take you away from your family. They will man up to the men. Please encourage the young ladies. It's okay, you could see somebody unlike them, but encourage them to finish their education, encourage them to write their CXC, encourage them to do, other courses, if they can't take the work, learn to sew, learn to cook, learn to do hair, cosmetics, all these different things are really, it's going to help you in the future. You can be a police officer and have a business, do your own catering on the side. Anything that brings in an extra dollar is is well spent. So I'm also asking that abduction by strangers. Now, when we are in COVID, yes, so we can't really go out because we have a curfew. We have certain stipulations given to us by our Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley. But other than that, when you go out, try to go out in groups, all right? With the permission of your parents, though, eh? Don't just go out as a big woman. I feel I reached 17 and I just go in. No, ask. Okay, so try to go out in groups. Try to stay away from strangers. If you do not know this person, why interact with them? Good morning and good evening is God's. It is God's own, right? So you can say good morning, you can say good evening, but this is a long talk and making communication with a stranger via IG, via WhatsApp, all these different social media platforms. Okay, try your very best to keep away from that. I mean, they will only tell you things that you want to hear. And most times they put up a young picture, you understand? And most times it's a 54-year-old hardback man. Okay, so I'm asking that, that you all pay attention to certain things, right? We don't want you all, we have too much people missing and we cannot account for them, right? Tell your parents where you're going, keep your phone on, let them know that I reach. Contact them, contact somebody, I jump in the sky, this is the number plate. You have to be, don't young ladies, don't jump in a vehicle that it only have men in it. Come on, right? We know that women are also involved in crime, but be mindful. I mean, be mindful as to what you're doing. You understand what I'm saying? Be mindful. All right, so we're moving right along. And you can contact us at just 1 minute.
So these are just some of the numbers for the Child Protection Unit. We are, as we said before, we are in all the divisions, 9 divisions. We have a Child Protection Unit Secretary, that is the general office, the main office where all the activities occur. We have a superintendent is based. Any reports that go there, any statistics that you may require, it's also there. We have a Southwestern Division, we have Central Division, we have Northern, Eastern, Northeastern, Western, Tobago, Port of Spain, and of course, Southern. You can also contact not only the CPU, but you can also contact the police service itself. Right? We are on Facebook. So I'm sure you can go on Facebook and you see Trinidad and Tobago Police Service on Facebook. They're also on Instagram. It's at TT Police Service. That's the Instagram address. We also have a police service app now. You can download it on your phone where you can actually report a crime anonymously. So if anything occurs, you can actually do that now. We also have some pictures here of just some of the officers from the Southern and Southern. We just wanted to show you guys that, police officers are not always gruff and want to throw you behind bars. We are normal people, just like your parents, just like the man in the street. These are just some of our officers who work at the Southern and Southwestern Unit. Go ahead. Very good.
Okay, so now we move right ahead to safety tips. Well, I would have touched some of the things already, right? So both Sergeant George and I, we're going to be speaking, all right? The use of your cell phone. Please don't give any and everybody your cell phone contact, right? Try your best to stay within your realm of your friends, people that you are sure of, not strangers. Let your parents know where you are at all times. Go out in groups. I touch on those things. And Sergeant George is going to briefly touch on the safety at home and the safety at school.
I realize that we're running out of time, so just bear with me a little bit, right? As we're saying, use of cell phone, your parents need to monitor use of cell phone. Social media, you have to be very careful who you invite on social media to be a friend, because as Miss Lashley said before, sometimes the men or even women pretend to be children your age, and then they ask you for pornographic pictures. That's a no-no, so be very wary of that. Safety at home basically means lock your doors. When your parents are not home, lock your doors, lock your windows. Don't just entertain strangers coming at your home. Just let them know. Don't even tell them your parents are not home, just don't answer. So they would not know that you are home alone, because sometimes that's how home invasions occur. Safety at school is what we spoke about before with the bullying. We don't want any bullying. Be careful at school. Don't do anything. I know right now it's COVID, but we know very soon school will reopen, so you have to be careful going into taxis, being in school. Yes, and the very next slide talks about, if you have any questions, you all can ask your teacher and you can get in contact with us. Go ahead. The very next slide basically is about the recruitment into the police service. You must have like 5 CXC passes, 1s and 2s, and even 3s. So you know you don't feel that you need to go to school and just breeze through school. Just to come into the police service, you must at least have 5 passes, right? Because we all did, and even some persons have degree, and you actually get a degree sometimes in the police service. It affords you to even study. So if you didn't have a degree before, you can come in, do even further your education within the police service to to go into the higher rank, or just to do something on the outside, as Ms. Reznell actually said. Yeah. But the thing is, as we're saying, you must study to become in the police, to come into the police service. There's exam to do. There's like 4 questions to do, or 4 exams. There's a physical exam that you should do. Yes, we went to the physical exam. Fitness. And so it's fitness. So you can't just come in and just feel you can, because you have to be able to run down the bandits. So don't look at the police officers now, who some may be big. That is because lack of training, and they are kind of old in the service. But the younger ones, we like to be fit, because you also have to be able to use a firearm. Don't forget, as you see in the picture there, there are persons using the firearm. There are people on the horse. You have to be fit to be on the horse. There are persons on motorbike. We have all those sections, the motorbike section. And of course, we have the canine section. If you love dogs and you think you want to make it a career, join the police service. Yeah. So any questions? I think we have 5 more minutes. Any questions? Okay, so Ms. George, you can let us know.
All right. Thank you so much. The room is going to close in a little while, and I know the children had so many questions. So I'm going to have to pick and choose very, very quickly, because we only have 4 minutes. So I think coming out of the entire presentation, and I really enjoyed it, I think one critical question a child was asking: why would someone want to abuse a child? What would be the reason someone would want to abuse a child?
Okay, very quickly, I know the time is running out. The fact that that person sometimes was also abused as a child. So it comes like they just regurgitate or reciprocate the feeling that they got. So they think that is love, and they would want to hurt a child. That's one. Sometimes it's sheer wickedness, because men are evil now. Yes. 3, just the opportunity. And then 2, and then number 4, there are some people, oh my God, there are some people who actually don't know how to treat a child, and because of some perverse or sexual way, they decide, let me harass the child because this child is innocent and they cannot get away with an adult.
All right. Okay, so going very quickly, do you all have applications presently?
For you to get into the police service, there's always an ad in the papers that would tell you they're doing recruitment. You must look out for the ad. However, you can actually write something and say, I'm interested in becoming a police officer, and you drop it off at the St. James, what we call barracks, but it's now called the Police Academy, down at St. James Salmon Drive. That's a big open area down there where the Commissioner of Police lives.
All right. And a child is interested in becoming the next commissioner of police. So
Yes.
they're asking what they have to do to become the next commissioner of police.
You need a degree, of course.
You need a degree, definitely, because now it's now open to also police officers and civilians. If you realize, they are now opening it up so that once you have a master's and certain degrees, that you actually can become. But I think you're a little too young, because you must be over 18.
But yes, I know we have 1 minute, so I just want to thank you all so much. I sincerely appreciated your going deeper into the offenses, because as a result of it, the chat was lighting up, and I know as guidance, we will have to have a response. So we will keep in contact. So thank you so much, and God bless. My regards to your organization and the division that you all serve. Thank you for protecting and serving us, and keep safe.
Bye, thank you.
Okay, bye, everyone.
So students, I know the room is going to close just now, so I want to thank you all so much for participating. I'm so sorry that all the questions could not have been answered because of time, but we are here again tomorrow. We have the hotel industry on tomorrow, as well as NADA, which is the organization that treats substance abuse. So I just want to share again, dream it, believe it, make it happen. You all have a wonderful day and thank you for being here with us.